Hello again, YouTube. We're in October already. We're well into October. It's still nice here. Which you knew. Welcome to the the Dale Stockton Dock, newly named and dedicated. We're gonna take a look at our new X-Men game today. We're gonna look at a game that I've been trying to fix that you may have heard of. That's called Black Knight. Everybody knows about Black Knight, or most people do. Many people do. I don't know who knows about Black Knight and who doesn't. But I have one. And now that summer's over, things are happening. There's some mayhem next door as they dig some ditches because all these awesome food carts need wastewater disposal. Gnarly's Tacos is in full effect. If you haven't had a taco from Gnarly's Tacos, you should get on that. And anyway, welcome everyone to North Coast Pinball, where we have upgraded our 3D printer to a Prusa MK4S with MMU and some brand new token boxes we're making. Started these a long time ago, and they've been cooking for about 18 hours. And that's going nicely. These are glow in the dark. How cool is that? Because, you know, Halloween and stuff. Some study materials for Black Knight. Here's Black Knight. So I sold Dialed In. Dialed In was sitting over there. And Dialed In was a lovely game, and I liked it a lot. But it wasn't getting played very much. And because I don't have a private game room, just this one, I decided to sell it. And the guy who bought it had a broken Black Knight and a broken Firepower. And I've never owned a Black Knight before. It's under all of this stuff. There it is. Black Knight is one of the, let's see, I believe it is the first solid state game to have an upper playfield. Apparently there were games all the way dating back to the 1930s that had an upper playfield. No flippers, but an extra playfield. And we'll talk more, if I feel it, about what's going on here. But first, there's a new game, and it's X-Men. And it's really fun. I mean, it's so fun. Why don't I do this? I was thinking that what I would do is tell you what I know about this game, and then play it a little bit. And hopefully the things that I tell you about what I've learned about this game will be illustrated during my play of the game, if I play well. The first thing that's really interesting about this game is that it, as we say in pinball, lacks an Italian bottom. An Italian bottom is how almost every pinball machine is designed. If you take virtually any machine, take Star Wars, you have two flippers in a symmetrical position. You have these triangular fixtures that are called slingshots, which bounce the ball back and forth. On the outside of the slingshots, you have something called an in lane, which feeds the flipper, and a symmetrical in lane on the other side, and what we call an out lane that leads to your doom. And on the far right side, a plunger. So plunger, out lane, in lane, flippers, slingshots, in lane, out lane, drain, Italian bottom. And if you look at most of the games, almost all of them, they have an Italian bottom. Funhouse is a slightly different game because they scrunched, Pat Lawler scrunched in the slingshots a little bit to give us an extra in lane here, plus a plunger lane here. And Pat Lawler did something similar on Twilight Zone, but it's an extra wide game. So we have now an out lane, 2 in lanes on the left, an in lane on the right, an out lane on the right, an extra plunger lane for an auto fire plunger, and then the regular plunger lane. Kind of ridiculous. Not an Italian bottom, Space Station. We've talked about Space Station before. Not an Italian bottom because you've got a slingshot here and a slingshot here. No in lanes. The ball just clatters around up there, which makes for wildly different gameplay. So X-Men in 2024 releases without an Italian bottom, and this is a bold and creative and risky choice. And I am in awe of, and I applaud Jack Danger and Stern for taking a risk on this design. And having played it about 100 times, maybe, I'm telling you, this is a really good game. So we have a danger room here where the object is to get a number of spins, a number of target hits, a number of bishop hits, and a number of ramps. And those are going to be reflected by icons that you'll see on the screen here that will tell you how many times you have to achieve each of those things before you advance the level of the danger room. And as you advance the danger room, I believe it's in level 2 where the abort light is activated. And the point of that is that if you hit this target while you're doing your thing in the danger room, you will get a brief ball save so that when the ball drains, because you're fighting in here, you might get it back. So that's one of at least 2 reasons to work on the danger room early in your game. The other is I think you get lots of extra points for completing danger room as you do other missions. So if you do missions after completing a danger room is what I mean, those missions are worth more. Left shot, all the way to right. Let me mention Bishop first though. If you hit Bishop a bunch of times, his energy thingy will become available. And if you hold the action button when it's red, as you hold it, Bishop will cycle along the 6 shots and back and forth. And when you release the button, Bishop will claim that shot for you, awarding you whatever award is on that shot during a mission. So that's Bishop. X-Jet is an amazing shot. It comes up, around, along this wire form, across the play field, up this ramp, down along the wire form, behind the flippers, and dumps the ball into the danger room. It's a little bit like Hurricane, right? Very cool. And you should be able to hit this shot from the right flipper, even if it's at a dead stop or if it's coming from here. If you do it just right, off the tip, you should be able to make this danger room shot most of the time. Otherwise, Stern can help you adjust this angle just by a bit if that's needed. So that's the X-Jet shot. Then you have Downtown, which is an amazing shot. As the ball comes up here, it goes around, emerges from here, comes up this ramp, around again, and along to the right wire form to your right flipper. It is a masterful ramp shot. Maybe one of the better ramp shots in all of pinball, maybe? I don't know. It's pretty good. Then you have the Uptown shot, which takes you to Cerebro. Comes up around the back, up to the upper level here. So this lower wire form, the ball never comes up this way. It goes down this way. So if it comes up this way, comes along here, gets stopped by the sentinel, then it will roll back down, and that's why this exists. This hill feeds you back out to the entrance of the Downtown shot, and again, on my game, you end up in the highway, around this wire form, and then back to the danger room. Just crazy. Okay, then you have the Beast Lab. So the ball hits this captive ball, elevated captive ball. So this is pretty heavy, and so it kills the momentum of the ball. And then this ball strikes the other ball, awarding you things, which is cool.
To the right of the Beast Lab is the highway shot, which goes back around the back of the Sentinel to this ramp, which the Sentinel can destroy and just dump onto the playfield. Otherwise, you end up at the right flipper. That was Midtown. On the right side of the Sentinel, you have Subway, which goes around the back, up that plastic ramp, along here, dumping to where you would have successfully completed the downtown Cloverleaf, along here, back to your right flipper. So that was Subway. And then finally, the Cerebro shot on the right side is a big tall ramp that goes around. Sorry about that. Goodness gracious me. I'm so good at this, you guys. Okay. Around this ramp, back around the back here, there's a diverter that can be raised. And the reason that's there is that as we come around, we're on our way along this ramp and we're at risk of being interrupted by the Sentinel. And so we can be saved by Wolverine or somebody who will make a call out and say, I've saved you, I found you another path, he'll say. And the ball instead comes along here to where you would have gone along the left side to your left flipper, still at risk of being caught by the finger flick. But that diverter's cool. And then as we continue the highway shot, you'll never make this on purpose except by way of the X-Jet across from here. And those are the shots in the game. The object is to collect these X-Men, and this square will appear on the screen as available missions. So fight the Juggernaut, use Bishop to protect the innocent, Wolverine and what's-his-face do a battle, Gambit does a thing, and then the harder missions are on the edges. There's a Magneto mission, a Rogue mission, a Storm mission, and a Colossus mission. After which, if you do all these, presumably you get to Senator Kelly and Master Mold. Those aren't coded in the game yet, but they will be. And if you do 2 missions, Cerebro will take you to the future. Also, if you complete 2 missions, Extra Ball will become available. That's about enough talking, I think. What else do we need to talk about? Multi-balls. You can get a multi-ball by wailing on the Sentinel. Focus on his chin, because you do more damage that way. Behind the chin is a kicker that fires back, which is super cool. So if the chin goes down, you hit this thing and it shoots back, which is super cool. A second multi-ball is if you get 3 Cerebros, to me, my X-Men multi-ball will start. And again, Cerebro is qualified by hitting the white lights on the shots, but you also can qualify Cerebro by hitting these stand-up targets. One there, one there, one there. And even during a mission, you can collect a Cerebro to advance towards, to me, my X-Men multi-ball. And you can be in one multi-ball and start another multi-ball at the same time. The third multi-ball that I'm aware of is if you hit every shot multiple times, maybe 3 times each or something like that, I'm not sure how many, then eventually you will see a white-yellow alternating light on the left side of Sentinel. And if you hit that shot while it's white and yellow, the ball will stop here and you'll get Save the City multi-ball. And I don't really know how the scoring works on any of the multi-balls, but shoot for the stuff that's lit or flashing. You can see that there are Sentinel inserts, and they light up in certain colors, and you might see 2 green Sentinel inserts, one there and one somewhere else like there. And what they're telling you is that there is a green Sentinel that you have to destroy by hitting both of those green lights, or whatever color they are. That comes into play when you're fighting in the future. Also, when you're in the future, your goal is to sort of survive, and Cerebro can send you back to the past, or he can let you remain in the future. And you press the blue button when it's blue while you're in the future to alternate between those 2 behaviors. So if you want to stay in the future, take a look at the screen and see what its plan is, and then hit the button to change from stay in the past, go to the future, or whichever one it is. Let's play. Join the 3 skill shots. I got it just in time. Now I'm in the danger room. And I've completed a ramp, and I'm going to start with Juggernaut because I think that's the easiest one. And you see, as we choose different shots, we get different colors. But yeah, we'll do Juggernaut. And just like any game, if your shot is lit or flashing, aim for it. If it's blinking fast, it's worth more than if it's lit or blinking slow. Oh. This is a whole lot of nothing so far. Nice post. Love that post in the center. Made my first shot. The sentinel left hand on my right is lit, so if I hit one of those ramps, we'll see sentinel catch the ramp. I hit him right in the chin, and I opened his mouth there, so I'm going to shoot for that as well. But I really want to prioritize Juggernaut as that. Now I did get credit for it, so that was cool. And usually when Sentinel crashes the ramp like that, I'm going to try to hit him back. And he fires back, as you saw there. Can I get one more shot? No. So Juggernaut is over. The shots go white again. And my objective is to hit those white shots in order to turn them blue. And visit Cerebro again to start another mission. Let's continue our progress with Juggernaut.
Institute is the Juggernaut.
Also, I want to hit Ascent just because. That's all it took. Couple of chin hits. Now I'm in Sentinel multi-ball. There is a bug. I don't know if you saw the finger flick caught the ball on the left, and then it just let it pass. That's a software bug that they're going to fix very soon. How about that? Ball table in the center. That center post, great. You can see that there are inserts lit representing sentinels, but I missed them all.
You've got to stop it before it destroys the rest of the city.
The shots are all white again, inviting me to get a mode qualified. I did it just once. The shots turn blue, and we can go back to Cerebro, and I have completed my first mission. And so I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to do the second easy one, protect the innocent. If I can complete this one, rescue the innocent. If I can complete this one, I have an extra ball opportunity. Lit shots are what I'm shooting for. There's nothing on the right, so I want to try to just get the ball to my right flipper like this and make a shot. We've already awakened the Sentinel. I was shooting for the. Let me see if I can get the X-Jet to the danger room. Much too early. Magneto's magnet just did its thing. That was cool. Bishop is lit. I don't know if you can see my red light, but so I can't. You can see from the camera. I'm going to hold it down. 1, 2, 3, and I released it on the third one, and that awarded that shot. Whoa, savage. Not only did the Sentinel dump the ramp, but the way the ball landed, it went straight down the middle. But I was awarded the shot, and I did complete the mission, and an extra ball is lit, and you're going to get to see another bug in the game, which I'm sure they'll fix soon. Actually, did before this turn already, which is when I make this shot, the ball's going to land, and it's going to get the extra ball award, but the skill shots will not be available. They're going to time out. Skill shot available. Skill shot no longer available. So let's go to Cerebro. Now I've done 2 missions, and I've visited Cerebro again. Now I'm going to the future.
Welcome to the 21st.
And you can't see me hitting the button from the playfield camera, but what I'm going to try to do is hit a couple of white shots.
And then I'm going to press my action button to stay in the future. And you can see on the screen, I don't know if you can read the type, but in red it said remain in the future. It went away just in time.
No stress on. No matter how difficult the world.
Yeah, I'm still in the future. I've got 2 blue sentinels up there on either side of the room. I just hit them both. There's one more blue sentinel to hit, and I wasn't able to get to it. It was over there. And the more sentinels you destroy, the bigger your bonus. So destroying sentinels has all sorts of benefits. I got a bonus hold by accidentally hitting this target right here. How cool is that? All right, where are we at? We've completed 2 missions. Let's just keep doing more missions. There's a ball save that's been activated on the right side.
There's a cop behind this wall.
Hit white shots to qualify Cerebro.
50%.
Can I get some spinner?
The professor.
I completed
Danger room activated.
the first level of the danger room because that lit solid green and it started blinking the next one. Is that the end of ball 3? No, one more ball. Can I do some good with this last ball? Let's try. Hit white shots to qualify Cerebro.
My claws will make a door out of this wall.
Oh yeah, I'd like to do that one more time.
We've got a mission.
One more Cerebro gets me to me my X-Men multi-ball. I think this is a bug. We're in the mission selection screen, but the ball is loose. Bishop is available. Let's get him going.
That claws make for some big.
Hit me at shots.
Indeed.
Beast Lab color changed. I don't know why. The shot on the left side of Sentinel is not backhandable, so let's just move the ball somewhere where I could do something good. On this side, I missed.
I should go for that.
There's the ball save there.
I won't back away from this fight.
I'd like to get to Cerebro one more time because that will get me a multi-ball.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good. Give me my X-Men. Now with ball save active, maybe I'll use Bishop to collect a shot. And this is kind of fun. I know I've got a free game. I've got a ball in the danger room. I'm trying to keep that alive while trying to make shots. Toss them off. The shots are white.
Bigotry. We must be the shining example of unity.
Hit white shots to bring Cerebro back. Now we're ready for the mission.
Splendid work indeed.
Let's do a fiery assault. We see shots of 2 different colors, I think, after a while. And if you have a half an eye available to look at the screen, it'll tell you sort of the story of what the game is doing. And there are fires indicated by red shots that we're going to put out. The Sentinel jaw is open, so while I'm at it, I want to try to do some damage to him. But that's the end of the game. Good enough.
Normal current corrupted.
Have you had a chance to play this game?
Oh, my stars and bars.
to me my X-Men multi-ball. Good for me. My overall score, 87 million. My best is a little over 200. And I love this game so much. And I got another free credit because it loves me back.
We have to fight for a better tomorrow.
Wow. Such a good game. All right. My camera battery is almost dead, and so is my own internal battery, so I'll just tell you a little about what's going on here. What to say? Well, it's a Black Knight. Black Knight is a System 7 game. Let me turn my oscilloscope on, and you can see a basic test that I've been doing here. It doesn't boot. The game doesn't boot. So what I have done is replaced three out of the four of the game ROMs. I have disconnected everything except power. I removed the batteries from onboard. Let me grab a light so we can see that a little better. The interesting thing about System 7 pinball machines from Williams around 1980, including this Black Knight, is that this board has a 40-pin header that connects it to the driver board along there. And so one of the things that fails is that 40-pin header. And so I've replaced that already. I haven't mated the boards to each other yet. I was just testing to see if this board would boot. And it doesn't. So if I reach down here and turn the game on, what we get is some erratic, glitchy behavior from the 7-segment diagnostic display, despite the fact that I have added sockets, new sockets where those ROMs belong, and written new EEPROM chips, except for that one, which I believe tested good. I know it tested good. But I just was informed that one should not expect this board to just boot and sit happy unless it's connected by way of this header to the driver board. I've just been taught that you can't test like this and expect anything good to happen. So I was thinking like, well, what if I push this diagnostic button? And is it meaningful that it stabilizes on the number 8? And then I consult this document that says, if it says 8, then there's a CMOS error. And then I'm like, well, but I already replaced the CMOS and I put a new socket on it, so why doesn't it boot? The answer is, you got to mate it to the other board. But there are good signals in the sense that I am monitoring the IRQ test point on this board, and I am getting a 5 volt with a 0 volt pulse every millisecond. And here's what's cool. They made really good documentation for these games. And it says if you look at the IRQ signal, you should get a 5 volt signal with a 0 volt pulse every millisecond. So that means the CPU is good. It means there's a lot of things that are good about that board. And every time I get a new game, I just fill a notebook with what am I trying to pull off here. As well documented as the game is with this lovely schematic, it doesn't on the board tell us that test point 4 is the blanking signal, test point 2 is NMI, test point 8 is reset, ground is on 10. All they give you is numbers on the test points. So you'll see a black wire and you'll see that it says 10, but it isn't labeled that 10 means ground. You got to have the documentation. Similarly, you can see a 5 there. And the other thing that's wild about the design of this game is that, do you see this sort of tan resistor looking thing? It's not a resistor, it's got a single black band. That's a jumper. And the position of that jumper, this one could be one hole lower. You see how there's a pad there? Same here. This one could be one pin lower or it could be one pin higher. And the position and presence or absence of these jumpers governs some things about which kinds of chips you can use here and what kind of CMOS that is. And it's considerably over my head. But over the years, people have studied this. And this is from a website that no longer exists, but you can use the Wayback Machine to go and find this documentation, which will tell you, like, if you want to use a different chip, then you got to change these jumpers and move it from this position to that position, and it's wild. Thanks for hanging out with me at North Coast Pinball. When we started, this had a few minutes left on it, and these are now done. I'm going to sign off, and I'll say I hope that all the things that you're working on and all the things that you're struggling with go your way. I hope that you can find your way to wholeheartedness today and every day. My tidbit is that I've been sort of struggling with, do you ever find that the world just isn't organized or oriented the way you would like it to be? I find that it's helpful to recognize that as a me problem, because I can't control how the world is. I can only try and control my reaction to the world. And when the world disappoints me, I have to find ways to reframe that. And I guess maybe the last thing I'll show you is the mission of North Coast Pinball, which I'm trying to adopt as my own personal mission, which shows up on my cash register. Our mission is to bring everyone towards a state of wholeheartedness. That includes myself. And the conjecture that I'm examining is whether my own goal of bringing myself towards a state of wholeheartedness can be achieved by trying to fulfill my mission to bring everyone to our state of wholeheartedness. Does that make any sense? Because if I'm having a bad day and a family comes in with a kid who's never played pinball before, and the kid has the time of his or her life, then I'm happy, even though I started the day angry at the world for not being organized according to my own preferences. So I hope you find your mission, and I hope you find achievable ways of getting closer towards achieving that mission. And that is about enough for this video. Thanks for watching it all the way to the end. Please leave me a comment about whether you've played Black Knight and what you like or don't like about it. Whether you've played X-Men, what you like or don't like about it. And thank you for watching. Goodbye, YouTube.